Hi guys, this is Max here, back again with hopefully another great political video. And today we're going to determine which party and which person is going to control the executive branches of each individual state, also known as American governor's election. Yeah, that's basically it. Alright, now let's go through these from east to west. In Maine, rematch Paula Page against whoever's right now the Democratic incumbent. It's some woman, I guess. I think pretty tough. I mean, Paula Page has a longer history in the state of Maine. This should be more of a Republican leaning year. However, the advantage of the incumbency should never be underestimated. And now with ranked choice voting, really everything's possible. But I'm tempted to believe that probably now with Roe v. Wade becoming more of an issue, though it is not that much of an issue, I'd like to say, I think the Democrats are super slightly favored in this race, but it's really by a hair. Now, New Hampshire and Vermont are safe Republican, Massachusetts is safe Democrat, Rhode Island is likely Democrat, and Connecticut lean. Bob Stefanowski is really not polling all that well, and Ned Lamont is now more popular, but it's still possible for him to lose the race. I think New York will be within 15 points. Pennsylvania will get to right away, but Maryland will be safe. The Republican candidate there is just too conservative to win, even though the Democrat there is pretty liberal. And if this was a full-blown red wave year, I'm pretty sure Republicans would be able to do better in that state. But I think it'll barely be a 15% margin. Alright, now, Pennsylvania, I think, is going to be tilt Republican because Doug Mastriano, I think, in the end will eke out a victory. He's going to get all-out high turnout in eastern Pennsylvania, and he's going to shock the world by winning that state's governor's election the same way that Donald Trump shocked the world by winning the state in 2016. So I think, yeah, Republicans are going to win Pennsylvania. So did they do it with Ohio. In Michigan, I really don't see Tudor Dixon winning there. Minnesota, Democrats are also pretty well off. Illinois will probably be within 15 points, but they're not really at risk of losing. Tennessee, Alabama, and South Carolina are safe red. Usually South Carolina is within 15 points for presidential elections, but the South Carolina governor, even though he's not as moderate as like Brian Kemp, is pretty popular. Speaking of Brian Kemp, I think he's very much favored to win. He might even win by 6 points. He does have some crossover appeal for Democrats, and especially, not really Democrats, but left-leaning independents, really just because he refused to overturn the election, and due to Georgia's open primary system was renominated. Ron DeSantis should be pretty safe in Florida. And I think that in the end it's going to be a narrow victory for Republicans in Wisconsin as well. So the Rust Belt states will be important again this election, just like always. Now, Kim Reynolds will win safe, which she did not in 2018, and also Kristi Noem, who has now run a wonderful campaign called Meth. We're on it. I'm not joking you. The governor of South Carolina has launched a campaign that says Meth. We're on it. Well, anyway. And yeah, they're all going to win safe, so Idaho. Kansas, I think, will be likely Republican. I don't think that Laura Kelly was ever really going to win. Kansas is quite conservative, especially in economics, and therefore there's no real chance that Republicans lose this. Texas is probably going to be within 15 points now, but anything could still happen. Colorado will probably be likely. New Mexico will be lean. I mean, whoever, Miss Lujan, or no, who's the governor of New Mexico again? Anyway, the lady who's the governor of New Mexico had a few sexual harassment allegations, and she's really not all that popular, and she might actually even end up losing, not even gonna lie. But as right now, Democrats are still favored in New Mexico. Maybe move it down to tilt, but if there was a call-up between lean and tilt, I'd put New Mexico into that, but as right now, it's lean. Arizona has Kari Lake run against a more moderate Democrat. Kari Lake is really an outright election denier. I'm having a hard time believing that Arizona is going to elect her. However, I think she does have a better shot to win than Mark Kelly, who will also be in a pretty close race, so I actually think that this will be one of the great upsets and Republicans win Arizona, even with a very radical candidate. I think Nevada is going to be more likely to go to the Republicans, and Ohio Oregon, sorry, like they got a pretty good cop running there. And Oregon, I think, is tilted in favor of the Republicans due to the Democrat third party candidate on the ballot there. There's even a case to be made that actually Oregon would be lean and Nevada would be tilt. Anyway, for the sake of this video, because I think many third party voters are going to swing Democrat shortly before Election Day. I think Oregon is tilt Republican and Nevada lean Republican. California will be safe for Gavin Newsom, so would be Hawaii for the Democrats, and Alaska I think is going to be likely to lean for the Republicans. And by the way, I don't think that ranked choice voting is going to hurt the governorship. The issue in the special House election was that lots of baggage voters didn't put Palin as their second choice. Alright, guys, this is the video for now. I think it's going to be 31 to 19 Republican seats in the, governorships. But anything could happen. Really, nothing set in stone yet. And even though I am very skeptical of the polls, it is true that as right now, Republicans are no longer as favored to win by huge margins nationwide as they used to be a few weeks ago, or even a few months ago. Anyway, guys, have a good time. See you later, and Max out. Bye-bye.